Hey everybody, thanks for watching. This is the back nine at Skylinks from my round just a couple days ago. This is the 10th hole. It's 330 yards. So they used to have the Long Beach Open here every year for years and years. But this was one of the reasons I think they moved it, because this is somewhat drivable, this hole. So if you hit it over those trees and it fades too much, then you might land it in a bunker that's like in a fairway bunker, but that was perfect. And if I had drawn it a little bit, I would have been in the green side bunker.
All right, this is kind of a touchy shot here because the light.
So you can see this hole was 330, so I probably hit that like 290 or something. It was a really good shot. Went through the fairway into a bit of the rough, but it's very matted down. This is where all the carts drive away.
That's what it is. So I want to hit a good shot there for.
Yeah, this is where all the carts drive away and everything. So the ball is kind of on a tight lie and it's wet, but it shouldn't really be a tough shot. But this is the shot that I'm having a hard time with. And doing these vlogs is good because I think I can see what the issue is. Remember when I went and saw short game chef Parker McLaughlin? He said, like, if you go to the top of your swing and you can reach back and you can grab the head of your wedge if you have that much angle, you're probably not going to be a good wedge player. And that's what I think I'm doing. I think I'm setting too much angle there. So let me know in the comments what you think. Like, what's a better style of vlog to do? The one I did for part 1 that says vlogs are back, where I just present the golf and I'm mic'd up, but I'm not really, all I'm doing is concentrating on the golf. Do you like that better? Do you like this style better, where afterwards I talk through it? Let me know what you think in the comments. It is better. At first, when I've watched other people's channels, I enjoy watching just the golf, unless the person is like a type of person that I'm interested to listen to. You know what I mean? Like, it could easily go either way. So that was a totally unforced bogey, so I'm 1 over par after an absolute perfect drive. So whatever. But this day I'm driving the ball really well, and that doesn't happen all the time. All right, so this is a fade up the middle. It's going to be in the right rough. Another really solid shot. So I'm going to leave myself not too far in for this second shot. On the par 5, not a super long par 5 either. It looks like it because it goes all the way. It's very straight along that fence, but it's not. This is, I believe, is 214 to the hole.
Too much. I can hit 4.
So hybrid would be a little too much unless I choked up on it. And then if I choked up on it, I might try to shape it too much too, to take something off of it. So I wanted to swing aggressively, so let's pull out this 4-iron. And I hit it fat. Something I'm doing in my swing is just changing my levels, and that's hurting my wedges, and it's hurting some of my irons. Off of a tee, it doesn't really matter as much, but I'm just having a hard time visualizing where the leading edge needs to be. So it's a par 5, so it turns into a good layup, or an okay layup, not really a great layup. So here I think, what club is that? It's always hard to tell on this lens, but I think it's something like 105 yards, something like that, maybe even less. All right, so I hit the ball this time, and it was all right. It's going to come up well short, though. So to blue flags, it's okay to come up short like that, but, I mean, that's not as close as you would want to hit it. And yes, I fix all the divots as much as I can. I cut that out, though. I shut the camera off, I walk back to my cart, shut the camera off, and then fix the divot and keep going. The other thing that's interesting that people are asking is like, oh, I would hate to play with you. This takes an immense amount of time. No, I have it set up. I can, if anyone's interested, I can show you my setup, but a very unique setup for filming these videos. So it takes no time. The guys that I played with actually had no idea that I was even filming. And it wasn't a big deal. All right, so I'm still 1 over. That's a par. But I probably lost about half a stroke there because I thinned that second shot. So wasting some opportunities here. Certainly because I'm driving it so well. I'm just not really getting anything out of it because I'm not doing that great. But that's golf. So the 12th hole, 350 yards, par 4. So what I was saying about this course, I think one of the reasons that they took the Long Beach Open off of this course, they used to play one of the rounds here, is because on the 10th hole, almost all the pros have to wait because they're going to try to drive the green on the 10th. And they're also going to try to drive the green on the, I think it's 14th hole. Yep. Which is a dogleg left, and then they had to put internal OB there to try to encourage guys not to hit it left where everybody was, but it didn't work. I think guys were still going for it and still almost hitting people, and then also made like a big backlog. So it's been only at El Dorado for the last 2 years, I think. All right, so I hit a good drive up the left-hand side. It's a red flag, so my angle's fine. There goes a plane above me. The airport is right next to this place. Okay, so this is another 58-degree wedge. This is like, I forget. I think this is like 78 yards or something, and I pulled that. Perfectly pin high, but I pulled it. And whenever I pull, that's just whenever I'm not very confident with the wedges, they start pulling.
That's good, but I shut the face.
Guess I can't really let the shaft out or something. All right, so now we're going to go to the putting green. All right, so putting for birdie here. It's a slider left to right quite a bit. You can see where I was aiming, and I still missed it on the low side. Usually, the number one thing I'm trying to do if I haven't been putting a lot is just get the speed right and leave it on the high side of the hole, if anything. If I've been putting a lot and I've been training a lot, then I try to make everything. But if you're not really practicing that much, you need to be reasonable, and you just don't want something crazy to happen, that's what I do. Concentrate on speed and concentrate on getting in this cone on the high side. So that was a good par. All right, par 3, 182 yards. So from the Long Beach Open tees, the black tees, this is 213 or 220 or something. So it's 182 from here. That was a great strike. That was probably my best iron shot of the day. Really the 8 iron on the first hole, and then this, I think that was a 6 iron here. Now, a lot of people have said before, like why do you hit your iron so short? I have these Scott Golf irons, which I think are the best irons that are made in golf. But the gapping on them is done in a way that they used to do the gapping on clubs, where it's totally equal in the length and the loft separations, so that your gapping can be much better. Whereas nowadays, it's like they make the 9 iron and the pitching wedge like really strong, and the 8 iron even pretty strong, and then the 6 iron's about normal what it used to be, and then the 4 iron is like a little more lofted. So it's like the modern lofts are pretty wild.
I don't know. Was that red? Or
Okay, so this is the 14th hole. What I was telling you about. So this is the one that, see that tallest pine tree on the left-hand side that the bird just went by. With driver, you can hit driver over that and possibly be in jail or possibly be on the front edge of the green. I decided to hit hybrid. My friend Noah posted a good video about playing this hole and convinced me to hit hybrid more often here. So I hit a hybrid that probably went 220 right down the middle, and I had a good visualization there. For some reason, my swing is much better when I'm hitting these Psycor orange foam balls into the net. So if I can imagine, especially off of a tee, that I'm hitting those orange balls, I do much better. Okay, this is 111 yards. I'm sorry, 108 yards. So I tried to hit an easy gap wedge, but for some reason it just went really far. It went really high in the air and really far. At first I thought I must have had the wrong yardage, because I went back and I got my rangefinder and I shot it again, and no, I was right. I thought I was hitting the trees behind it. So it just teaches me I have to be a lot more careful to blue pins, because if it's a blue pin and it's in the back of the green, now I'm short-sided, and you can see because of where that tree is, this area doesn't get a lot of sun or something. It's very scruffy there, and it drops a lot of pine needles here too, so it's not really grown up. So it's like bare with like a kind of crabby grass back there. And I mean, those are all my excuses. I should have just played that a lot better. Flubbed it, left it short again. So again, I'm in just like on the 11th hole and on the 10th hole, I was in just a garden spot after my tee shot. and now I am having to scramble just to save bogey. So I have that. Left it on the low side like I don't like to do, and really didn't concentrate on this one enough. You can see Al over there.
Thanks, Al. You were holding that position for the shadow.
He didn't want to. He didn't want to stand up because his shadow would have moved as I was putting. I don't think he expected me just to putt it out. Usually, I take those short ones a lot more serious. I probably should. Okay, so another dog leg left. Now, same thing on this hole. You could possibly hit the guys on 14 tee if they're on the like the back tees. Solid drive, but what you got to do is you have to hit it where my ball started and draw, or if you want to hit a fade, you have to hit it well to the left and fade it.
Through the fairway.
You can hit a certain line on this hole and have like a pitching wedge in on this par 5.
All right.
Or now this is all the way through the fairway. So that fairway to the right is number 17, and I actually and the green that I have to go at is straight through those trees. So I'm trying to decide if I should just punch out. If I punch out, I have like 150 in because I probably won't be able to shape it that much.
Maybe I can.
Or I could hit a big slinging 8-iron, and somehow I talk myself into that.
Let's do it. Let's try it. So we're gonna hit it. So what do they say to do? Shut your stance. Get it there and slinging. And get this slinging that way. I slung it. Kind of clean. I could still be in jail, I'm not sure. It was a little low in the face. What are you doing on these par 5s, idiots?
All right, so the par 5s, I'm not strategy-wise. I'm not playing well. Mentally, you know, striking it good enough to be like under par on the par 5s, but mentally making really poor decisions. So so now I'm in jail here. So this is a 6-iron that I'm going to try to punch. And I actually punched that really well. Shaped on the ground. And that'll be just in front of the green to this red pin. So it won't be too tough to get up and down from here, I didn't think. Not a lot of grass around here. It's November in this area, but it's this course is in really great shape. Greens are great shape. All right, so I put good weight on that, and that'll be a par. So I remain, gosh, now I'm 2 over on the back, with bogey on number 10, and then bogey again on the short par 4 14.
152?
152. Recently, they've always had this hole, like from the Long Beach Open tees even, is like 156 or 162 or something. From the blue tees, the men's tees, or whatever you call the blue tees, it's 152. But normally they've been putting this, like, I think for pace of play or something, they've been putting this like up at 121 or something like that. So I was surprised to see it back here. 8-iron, and I hit it just absolutely great. Cut. Probably hit that. That was about my full swing. I probably hit that about 162, about 6 yards farther.
Back of the green, long putt, but beautiful strike.
Yeah, beautiful strike. So I got this remaining for birdie. There's Clark Street behind us. And this, so I want to leave it on the high side, and gosh, I just didn't read that very well. And same thing, I'm getting, you can tell I'm getting a little, normally I would mark all these, and then I could edit out the routine, but I mean, that's longer than I usually do to knock it in. You know, I was thinking about pace of play recently, and this is the 17th hole, 397 yards. The PGA Tour is making all these changes, probably crazy changes. They're going to eliminate a lot of careers because they're lowering the size of the field from 125 to 100, the size of the amount of guys that will be able to continue to get their tour cards, and fields are going to get smaller and other things like that. If they really cared about pace of play, something interesting to think about is that pros, they make, if you look at the statistics, they make 99% of putts 2 feet and in. So if they did have somewhat of a friendship circle on the tour, it would really affect the scores almost not at all. But it would, if every guy is taking, because they do, even on a 1.5 putt, they mark it, they line it up. It takes, it's not an instant.
Like
If you're thinking of there's 150 guys out on the course, and it's going to take, and they're gonna, all of them are gonna have a lot of 1.5 putts that they're going to end up marking, walking away, coming back, remarking. If there was a 2.5-foot friendship
real
circle
bad stuff right
on
here.
tour for Thursday and Friday, they would save, wouldn't they save like, it would save over 300 minutes because they're saving like 30 seconds every time they just picked it up. That's why the match play rounds end up going a lot faster.
Did it go left? Darn.
But it wouldn't look like real golf. It would be really uncomfortable, and then there would be like the wiggle range of like, oh, that wasn't good or that was good. So would you have to paint a circle around the hole, or would you have to?
All right.
I think what you would really need is you would need somebody, because they have the shot link. You would just need the shot link guy to at the hole give you a thumbs up if you can pick it up, or shake his head no if you couldn't. All right, so let me know what you think about that. That actually, I think, would end up making the rounds a lot faster, and almost nobody watches the Thursday and Friday rounds, and you wouldn't do it in the majors. And it would, it would be up to the guy. I guess you could, if you went through, if you picked it up when the guy told you to pick it up,
should be good.
you'd be fine. But if you decided to go ahead and putt it at that point, you could putt it.
Stay out of the bunker.
It would, and missed. It would be.
Okay.
It would be the stroke would count. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. But it would save a lot of time. So now I am on the, so I bogeyed that hole. I bogeyed the 17th hole because I hit kind of a bad wedge
159
into a very long area, and I hit what I thought was a really good chip shot, but it kept, no grooves got on it, so it didn't spin at all. And two putted for bogey, and that was just such a passive swing. So I just need to practice a lot more off the grass to get used to this leading edge thing that I have going on. Pin high to the right. I'm going to have to putt this from the low area. And I'm deciding to putt it because you can see it's like everything out here. It's like the perfect course to
I'm going to putt this.
The perfectly tough course for me
up the hill
right now because of how thin the lies are, and then the first half of the round they were thin and wet lies, and that came off a little softer than I thought.
It's not very good.
I could have banged it up the hill a little bit more. All right, so I'm gonna go in, and this is like the first time today I'm really putting my full routine. I don't know why I wouldn't do it the whole time, but part of it, your mind and your routine is also a muscle, so you got to have the endurance to stick through it. So this is my full routine to try to make this putt. And just came off low. It just came off low. My stroke went a little bit towards the third base there. So, didn't like that. All right. So that is 4 over. 76 on the back. On the back was 40. So it's 76 total.
Stupid mistakes.
If you liked it at all, please click the subscribe button, click the like button. And also, obviously, like, I didn't play that great. Hit so many really good shots. Like, I feel like if I had a different mindset, I would easily have been able to turn that even par into like 2 or 3 under. But just something about my routine or my mindset or something about those wedge shots was really, really like bugging me. So I felt like I'm playing really well. I didn't get like anything out of it because I didn't putt like I usually putt. And those wedge shots probably cost me three shots there alone, hitting that fat one and the thin one or whatever else. If you have any ideas or tips for me, put them in the comments below. I read every comment and I try to reply to almost every comment. Thanks for watching, everybody. Click the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Thanks. Bye.